Welcome to the show, everybody. Joseph Robert Cabot, the Fantasy Football Counselor. We are talking about the top 10 tight ends for Fantasy Football 2021. Big episode here for you. Before we get into this, guys, this show is brought to you by Manscaped.com. If you haven't got a Lawnmower 3.0 or a 4.0 right now, I don't know what you're waiting for, but you got to stay groomed for your fantasy football draft, for dates, for everybody, for your health. Stay groomed. Manscaped.com. Use promo code SHOWERLION. Save yourself 20% on some amazing products, from ball wipes to amazing trimmers. Everything you need to stay fresh and clean and groomed. Skin-safe technology, navigational light, great battery life, great product. Manscaped.com, promo code SHOWERLION, save 20%. And secondly, guys, get the 16-round draft solution. It is the game changer. It's going to help you guys crush your leagues. For the first ever and only video training where it's like actually having me at the draft with you. It's like I'm actually there. Really, it's everything you need, guys, from notes, and I update this thing up until the first day, up until the last day before the season starts, okay? So you can have everything you need for your draft, sleepers, breakouts, and people ask me all the time, Joe, is this going to help me in 14-person league, 12-person league? Yes. Is it going to help me with everything else? Yes. Auction draft? Sure, because you know every player to draft, when to get them, and obviously who I like, right? Who the sleepers are, so you know when to get them for value. Let's say if it's an auction draft or something like that, okay, guys? It's really going to help you. So get it. Manscaped.com, promo code SHOWERLION for the trimmer, and thefantasyfootballcounselor.com for the 16-round draft session. 2 quick homework items. And of course, guys, smash thumbs up. Really helps the channel. All right, let's talk about tight ends. Before I do, you got to know, let's talk about draft strategy really quickly. I don't want to dive into too much into tight ends. I'm going to keep it very simple, very brief, because again, I don't really do rankings. I'm doing this to make people happy, create some content, and kind of give you guys a guideline, because really, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, and really know when to draft these guys. And I'm going to talk about that, okay? But the real strategy with these guys is very simple, guys. You want to kind of hold off on tight ends as much as you can. That's kind of been my strategy throughout the years. Although there's 2 tight ends, I don't mind kind of grabbing this year and part of my Sneaky 7. If you don't know what Sneaky 7 is, 16 rounds explains it, but pretty much this, right? You really want to, I won't explain Sneaky 7 in detail, but if you want to sneak in a tight end in the first 7 picks, I'm okay with that. And the 2 guys I am kind of targeting with high ceiling are Hockenson and Kyle Pitts. I'm not going to overpay for a Travis Kelce, a Kittle, or Waller, but if I could sneak in a Hockenson or a Pitts rounds 3 to 5. A 3 is a little early, but I see actually these guys coming off in the 3rd round, believe it or not, depending on the league, depending if there's a Lions fan or a Falcons fan on that team or whatever, these guys come off relatively early. And I'm going to go into why I like them so much in the show as I get to them in the rankings, okay? So top 10 rankings here for tight end. Again, try to wait on tight end. Try to sneak Hockenson and Pitts in the round 4 to 5, round there in the 12-person league. And I wouldn't overpay for the Kelce and the Wallers, okay? So that's kind of a strategy right there. You want to get 10 points out of your tight end. You want to focus on securing those robust RBs, the ace quarterback, and some high-flying wide receivers with fantasy points, beating some high-upside wide receivers, okay? So let's go. Number 10 here. Finished 3rd last year, Robert Tonyan. He pronounced it Tonyan. I don't see how he gets that, but it's Robert Tonyan. Last year, his targets weren't there, 59 targets. He had 11 touchdowns. That's kind of what made him last year. He's a touchdown machine. So if Rodgers comes back, expect the same out of him getting those touchdowns. And I don't really think that Adams is going to have the same type of year. So Robert Tonyan could have a boom type of year for touchdowns. I don't think 11 is out of reach. I don't think him surpassing that is out of reach, because we saw Adams get so many touchdowns. So Tonyan, a big, huge red zone target that I like he's even a sleeper. You get this guy for super good value. He's not coming off boards very high. So this is what I mean. You could wait, get a Robert Tonyan, and still be pretty solid at the tight end position. So I got him coming in at number 10, safe and solid. And literally, there's a big fall off. Once you go like Kelce, Waller, like Kittle when he's healthy, Kittle had the broken foot last year. Once you have those guys, it's like, big drop down. So that's why I think Kyle Pitts, and Hockenson could be those guys that kind of come up, whereas the other guys, safe and steady, slow and steady wins the race kind of horses, right? I'm not really excited about them, okay? Number 9 here, Logan Thomas. Logan Thomas last year finished 7th amongst tight ends here with 104 fantasy points. I'm talking PPR, or sorry, that's standard here. Let's pull up PPR, guys. I got this all wrong. Tonyan finished 4th last year. Where'd Logan Thomas finish? Finished 3rd. Logan Thomas finished 3rd with 176 points. We're talking PPR. Now, one thing I really like about Logan Thomas, that's why I got him at 9, is the target count. Now, he had 2 quarterbacks thrown to him that aren't going to be there, Alex Smith and Haskins. He's on Washington. Is Fitzpatrick going to target him? That's a big thing, right? Who's going to be the quarterback down the stretch? Is Fitzpatrick going to keep the job? What's going to happen? Too many question marks, right? That's the uncertainty there. But with uncertainty comes upside. So 110 targets last year, very appealing. 6 touchdowns, I like it. 670 yards receiving, not bad. So I like it. I mean, again, he finished 3rd last year amongst tight ends. I got him at 9. A little suspect about that situation, okay? Again, with tight ends, it's really a crapshoot. There isn't really consistent players. Other than Travis Kelce, there really isn't somebody that finishes consistently every year as of late, okay? Number 8, Mike Gesicki, finished 7th last year, had 85 targets. I like the upside here. I like the youth. I like the upside. Last year, 6 touchdowns, so he can be seen as a red zone target. I like him. I mean, again, it's literally a crapshoot. That's why I hate rankings. Now, if you tell me where to draft him as I'm going through draft 16 rounds, I'll tell you where to draft him. I explain that. But in regards to rankings, to put him 8th, someone's got to finish 8th, right? And looking at these guys, I mean, is it going to be maybe Eric Ebron or, Evan Ingram? Like, who knows, right? Like, it's literally like, coin flip on this. So you got to try to make your best educated guess here with tight ends. I got him at number 8, Gesicki, upside youth, okay? Number 7, Noah Fant. Obviously, talent is there. With Noah Fant, though, again, finished 8th last year. You got the suspect situation with quarterback. You got Cortland Sutton come back. You got Jerry Jeudy. You got all these other weapons. You got Javonte Williams who can catch the ball in the backfield, who I think is going to be the starter there. Noah Fant, a lot of question marks, suspect situation, obviously. Is there enough targets to go around? It is a make or break year for Drew Lock, which is kind of exciting. But Noah Fant, 93 targets last year, only 3 touchdowns. Not as big of a red zone targets as the guys I mentioned prior, but a guy that can get it done in the receiving game. 93 targets is appealing, which put him at 6th last year amongst tight ends, which is not bad. Again, am I excited? No. If I get him good value, sure. And that's what I'm going to look for him as value. Finished top 10 last year. And this year should be the same here for Noah Fant. Okay, finished 8th last year. And he should finish top 10. Let's put it that way. Coming at number 6, Mark Andrews. I know the Chiefs are higher on this guy, but I see 2 other guys sliding ahead of him this year. But Mark Andrews, as safe as they come when it comes to tight end. We know Lamar Jackson goes to his tight end quite often. Mark Andrews is going to be the guy. I'm not really sold on those receivers, even the rookie guys coming in. So Mark Andrews coming at number 6, should be safe and solid. But again, you're contending with Lamar Jackson, in his rushing yards. Mark Andrews, obviously a reliable target for Lamar Jackson. It's going to be hard to trust investing really early in Mark Andrews, but I like him. I got him here at number 6. Feel solid with him as a guy that's going to contribute this year as per usual. Mark Andrews last year, 88 targets, 7 touchdowns. That should stay about the same. They brought in some rookies there. They drafted some rookies. But again, Lamar likes to run the ball a lot. Is Mark Andrews going to still be the prime target? Possibly, but I'm not investing too early for him. There's a couple other guys here I like, that get probably after him that I think could finish ahead of him. So that's number 6. We got number 5 here. We got George Kittle. Listen, George Kittle had a broken foot last year, but continued to produce when he was on the field. Obviously, quarterback situation really suspect here. Love George Kittle this year, although I'm not investing a 2nd-round pick on him. He's coming out very early. In fact, ahead of guys that I got ahead of him, Kyle Pitts and Hockenson. That's why I don't believe in lists. But George Kittle, a guy that gets it done every year. Last year only played 8 games, 125 points. PPR, 2 touchdowns. Again, he was banged up, but when he played, he was relatively consistent. But again, you got the battle, Garoppolo, Trey Lance, who's going to be the starter. They've got, who do they got? Ayuk there. They've got Deebo Samuel. They've got all these options. They got receiving options, and Trey Sermon and the other running back, Mostert. Too many question marks there in San Fran. They spread the ball around quite a bit. He's going to be solid. He's going to be a producer. When he gets the ball, he knows how to run after the catch, put up some extra points. I got Kittle at number 5, okay? Then after that, we got number 4. We got Kyle Pitts here. Love the ceiling, love the upside. And I'm torn between him and Hockenson at 3. But Kyle Pitts has a huge ceiling. It's boom or bust for Kyle Pitts. But what I love about him is the 157 freed up targets with Julio Jones not there. And that was his 2019 numbers for Julio. Now, Julio's banged up last year, but he's gone. So obviously the Falcons, they invested high draft capital, their first pick, obviously. And they love Kyle Pitts. There's a reason he's there. Prototypical workhorse tight end that's going to catch the ball. Really good numbers there in college. He's a top prospect and physically one of the most physically gifted, I'd say receivers, tight ends, players out of the 2021 draft. Love the ceiling. This guy could finish number 1. I got him at number 4 here based on the fact that there's a chance he could bust, but I think the target volume are going to be there for him because, again, Matt Ryan throws more than anybody else. Try to get this guy and sneak him in round 4 if you can. After you got 2 running backs and ace wide receiver, I'd love to get myself a Kyle Pitts as my 4th pick. Coming in number 3, and again, this could be reversed here. I like kind of Kyle Pitts a little more than Hockenson, but Hockenson primed for a big year. Reason he's 3 is because he saw 101 targets last year, and he's already hit the field before. He knows what it's like, right? He's been on the field. Now, Hockenson in a position to succeed there with Goff. They've got no other wide receivers. Love the opportunity, love the talent. Hockenson could really crush it this year. Again, big upside, but again, boom or bust kind of potential because it is Hockenson, his tight ends. Really suspect. Okay, I got him at number 3. Number 2, Darren Waller. As safe as they come, he's the primary target for Carr. Carr, years to why I'm not wowed. Darren Waller in a prime position to succeed as per usual. 145 targets, tied with Kelce last year in regards to targets, 9 touchdowns. He's the guy there with the Raiders. He's absolutely the main target for Carr. He's going to eat. Am I going to invest an early second-round pick in him? Probably not. But again, if you want a tight end, and if you're obsessed with tight ends, or if tight ends are worth more, you may want to consider him early on. I'm personally not, okay? If I can get Pitts in 4, I'd rather do that than get Waller in 2 or 3, okay? But again, Waller a little more of a guarantee, right? Because we know the connection that he's got there. Now, number 1 here, Travis Kelce. The guy's finished number 1 amongst tight ends pretty much 4 years in a row. As consistent as they come. There's really nothing to say about Kelce other than you're going to invest in an early draft capital for him, and he's pretty much number 2 target, number 1, number 2 target with the Chiefs. They got Mecole Hardman stepping in as the number 2 there. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I think, is going to get involved more in the passing game this year. Tyreek Hill, obviously, there as well. Mahomes spreads the ball as well, but he throws quite often. He throws very well. Kelce, primary recipient of that, always finishing on top. 11 touchdowns last year, 105 receptions on 145 targets. Gets it done, efficient, every single year. But then it comes to the question, do you want to invest early on a tight end? He's due for a decline. That could happen anytime soon. Maybe this year. I'm not investing in him. I always go robust RB because it's the most scarce position early on. And if I could sneak and get my robust RBs and sneak a Hockenson or Pitts later, that's better than getting a Kelce and maybe getting a lower end committee type running back later on. Does that make sense? I'm going with that strategy. You guys should too. And I explained where to get all these tight ends in the 16-round draft. So make sure you guys get it below or thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. So number 10, Robert Tonyan, Logan Thomas, Mike Gesicki, Noah Fant, Mark Andrews, George Kittle, Kyle Pitts, TJ Hawkins, Darren Waller, and Travis Kelce to round out the top 10. But again, do not overpay for a tight end. Try to get the best bang for your buck. And again, Kyle Pitts and Hockenson could fall in some leagues, but I'm seeing them come off anywhere from around 3 to 5. 5 the latest in a 12-person, 1-point PPR, okay? Subscribe, thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate it. And get that 16-round draft solution. It'll answer all your questions going into the season and help you guys crush your leagues and be light years ahead of the competition. We'll talk soon, guys. I appreciate you. Don't stress the tight ends. Focus on the core guys, your running backs, your ace wide receiver, those high upside wide receivers, right? Your running backs. Focus on those core positions and secure a tight end, as early as you can. And there's 10 good ones here for you that'll give you a good return on investment, but do not overpay. I'm out, guys. Subscribe. We'll talk soon.